most embarrassing thing you've done in front of your crush? I tried to impress my crush by being the funny guy, and instead, I launched a spaghetti-based natural disaster. I decided the formula was simple. Trip in the cafeteria during lunch. Drop the tray, say something dumb but adorable. I even practiced a controlled stumble by my locker, which is not a sentence you want to admit out loud. The cafeteria was packed, and my heart was beating like a vending machine that ate my dollar. She sat at the long middle table, surrounded by friends. I took a breath, gripped my tray, and lined up the runway like pilots do. My feet hit the polished tile. My brain yelled now, and I gave myself the gentlest trip ever. Instead of an adorable stumble, my shoe hydroplaned on someone's grate, and my entire tray went supersonic. The spaghetti went flying, and there were noodles stretching in slow motion like they had hopes and dreams. And then, I realized, direct hit on the football captain's white hoodie, right in the middle. Marinara spiderwebbed across his chest, and then began the slow descent, like lava deciding which street to ruin. My crush froze the way deer do when they start reconsidering the concept of roads. I tried to smile, and as I tried to say oops, my voice cracked bad. The football captain peeled one noodle off his hoodie like it offended him and stared me down. Bro, he said, and somehow a single syllable contained my entire obituary. I went into damage control, which for me means panicking while pretending to be helpful. A custodian materialized with a yellow mop bucket like a guardian angel, who preferred not to be involved. He placed the caution sign, a little wet floor triangle that felt like a tiny gravestone for my dignity. The assistant principal appeared, always where chaos lives, and snapped two words that sounded like an arrest. Office, now. They herded me in the hoodie like we were evidence, me carrying it in my arms like a wounded swan. The secretary handed me a bottle of dish soap, and pointed me to the tiny sink like she had seen this before, which was troubling. I ran cold water, because hot set stains, which I learned from the internet during a crisis 2 summers ago, involving ketchup and a funeral suit. I scrubbed the white cotton like it owed me rent, suds blooming pink, my hands turning into prunes that knew shame. Through the office window, the hallway rivered past with backpacks and gossip. Then she walked by. My crush, flanked by friends like a parade that had not hired me. She glanced in, saw me elbow deep in a hoodie I had assaulted, and her face made that polite smile people reserve for raccoons. The assistant principal poked his head out of an office and asked if progress was being made, which was optimistic. Somewhere downstairs, a bell rang and the cafeteria refilled with the sounds of a school that had already moved on. Upstairs, I was still baptizing a hoodie like a priest with questionable credentials. The door opened and football captain stepped in, now wearing a clean shirt that said his name in letters that cost more than my GPA. He looked at the soggy hoodie, then at me, then he took a slow breath like he was resetting his entire personality. You missed a spot, he said. This plan backfired terribly.